The first time Commander Elias Vorn saw the cosmic crystal, he thought it was a star trapped inside glass. It floated at the heart of the sanctum of Thray, suspended in a cathedral of living metal that hummed with ancient energy. Light rippled across its faceted surface in slow, breathing pulses. Gold, then violet, then a deep, oceanic blue. Entire civilizations had risen and fallen trying to possess it. Wars had burned across sectors for even a rumor of its power. And she stood before it. Tall, armored in silver-black alloy that seemed grown rather than forged, the Guardian did not turn as Elias entered. Her long, luminous hair drifted as if underwater, though the air was still. Two curved blades rested across her back, their edges shimmering faintly with restrained plasma. "Human," she said, her voice echoing through the vast chamber without effort. "You have crossed 12 forbidden systems and survived 3 of our outer defenses. Why?" Elias removed his helmet slowly, revealing tired eyes and a face lined with the dust of travel. "My world is dying," he replied. That made her turn. Her eyes were not like any he had seen, silver irises flecked with starlight, ancient and unreadable. She studied him not as prey, nor as an enemy, but as a puzzle. "Many worlds die," she said. "Entropy is the nature of existence." "Not like this," Elias answered. "Our sun is collapsing unnaturally. Something is feeding on it, draining it. Our scientists traced the anomaly to energy signatures matching the crystal." The Guardian's gaze flickered, almost imperceptibly. "The crystal does not feed," she said evenly. "It sustains balance. Cannot be taken. It chooses." Elias stepped closer, feeling the weight of the sanctum pressing against him. "Then let it choose me." For the first time in 1,000 years, the Guardian laughed. It was not cruel. It was wistful. "No human has ever passed beyond this threshold," she said. "Your species is young, volatile. You wage war over soil and sky. You fracture yourselves over belief. Why would the crystal choose you?" Elias held her gaze. "Because we fight for each other." Silence filled the chamber. She walked toward him then, her armor gliding without sound. Up close, she was even more imposing, taller by a head, strength coiled beneath elegant precision. She circled him once. "You are not armed," she observed. "I didn't come to fight you. That was wise. I came to ask." Her expression hardened slightly. "You misunderstand. The crystal is not granted by request. It is claimed through trial." "Then give me the trial." Her eyes narrowed. "You will die. Then I will die trying to save my people." Something shifted in her expression, something almost human. For centuries, she had stood alone in the sanctum. Before her, there had been others, guardians chosen by the crystal itself. But time had claimed them all. She had watched empires rise in arrogance and fall in fire. She had turned away conquerors and tyrants. She had slain those who believed power was their right. But this human did not reek of conquest. He reeked of desperation. "You do not understand what the crystal is," she said quietly. "It is not a weapon. It is not fuel. It is consciousness. An echo of the universe's birth. Binds to a soul. If your spirit falters, it will consume you." Elias swallowed. "And if it doesn't, then you will wield a fragment of creation itself." She stepped aside. The air between him and the crystal shimmered. "3 trials," she said. "Of mind, of heart, of will. Fail any, and the sanctum will erase you." He nodded once. "Begin." The first trial came without warning. The sanctum vanished. Elias stood suddenly on the bridge of his command ship, alarms blaring. Through the viewport, Earth's sun fractured into shards of burning light. His crew screamed as systems failed. He knew it wasn't real, but it felt real. He rushed to the helm, issuing commands, trying to stabilize imaginary systems. His best friend, Lieutenant Mara, grabbed his arm. "We're losing containment. We have to evacuate. If we leave orbit, billions die," he shouted. "You can't save them." He froze. This was the trial of mind. The Guardian's voice echoed faintly in his thoughts. "What is salvation?" He looked at Mara, at the fear in her eyes, at the crew who trusted him. Then he shut down the helm. "Transmit evacuation orders," he said calmly. "Divert all power to life pods. We save who we can." The scene shattered. He stood again in the sanctum. The Guardian watched him closely. "You chose loss. I chose reality," he replied. "A leader who denies truth kills more than he saves." A flicker of approval passed through her gaze. The second trial struck deeper. Darkness enveloped him. He was a child again, standing in the ruins of a colony station destroyed by raiders. Smoke choked the air. Bodies lay scattered. His mother's hand slipped from his grasp as she fell. "You were weak," a voice whispered. "You survived because others died." Guilt crushed him. 4 years he had carried it, the shame of living when stronger people had not. The crystal's voice now intertwined with his own thoughts. "Why should you be worthy?" He fell to his knees. "I'm not," he admitted. Silence. Tears burned his eyes. "I'm not special. I'm not the strongest or the smartest. I'm just stubborn. Keep going because someone has to. Because giving up would make their deaths meaningless." The darkness trembled. "I don't want power," he said hoarsely. "I want a chance." Light burst around him. He was back in the sanctum again, breath ragged. The Guardian's expression had changed. "You faced your grief without turning away," she said softly. "Many hide from it." "I've been hiding for years," he replied. "Not anymore." The final trial came without illusion. The Guardian drew her blades. Energy flared across the chamber. "Will," she said. "Face me." He stared at her. "I thought the trials were metaphysical." "They are," she said, and attacked. She moved like a comet, blades carving arcs of light. Elias barely dodged the first strike. He had combat training, but she was centuries of experience made flesh. He didn't draw a weapon. He ran. Not in fear, but in thought. He studied her patterns, the rhythm of her strikes. She was testing him, not killing him outright. Pushing him. A blade grazed his shoulder, burning through fabric and skin. Pain lanced through him. "Fight!" she commanded. "I am," he shot back. He grabbed a fallen fragment of sanctum metal, using it to deflect another strike. Sparks exploded. "You refuse to draw a weapon," she observed mid-attack. "If I'm meant to wield the crystal," he grunted, "then killing you to reach it defeats the purpose." He paused just a fraction. He lunged, not to strike, but to disarm. He twisted her wrist, redirecting her blade away from his throat. They locked eyes inches apart. "I won't become what my world fears," he said through clenched teeth. For a long moment neither moved. Then she stepped back. The blades dissipated. The chamber fell silent. "You could have taken advantage of hesitation," she said. "You did not." "I don't want to conquer the crystal," he replied. "I want to earn it." The crystal pulsed brighter. The sanctum trembled, not violently, but with resonance. The Guardian turned toward it slowly. "For 1,000 years," she whispered, "it has remained dormant. unmoved by emperors and warlords, unimpressed by genius. The crystal's light expanded, enveloping Elias in warmth. He gasped, not in pain but in recognition. It felt like standing at the center of the universe's heartbeat. The Guardian watched as threads of light spiraled around him. "It has chosen," she said. Energy flowed into him, not overwhelming but aligning. He felt the sun of his world, not as a dying star but as a wound that could be healed. The crystal did not grant domination over nature. It granted harmony with it. When the light faded, he remained standing, changed but still himself. The Guardian approached, kneeling for the first time in centuries. "Bearer of the crystal," she said formally, "what is your will?" Elias looked at his hands, now faintly luminous. "My will," he said quietly, "is to restore balance, not just for Earth, but for any world threatened by imbalance." She studied him, and for the first time there was no distance in her gaze. "Then I will stand with you," she said, "not as guardian of the crystal, but as guardian beside you." He offered his hand. After a brief hesitation, she took it. Together they left the sanctum. Above them the stars seemed brighter. Far away a dying sun flickered, then steadied. And across the galaxy, whispers began to spread. The cosmic crystal had chosen a human. Not because he was the strongest. Not because he demanded it. But because when offered the power of creation, he chose responsibility.